I'd just like to say a quick thank you. Our matchmaker, Matt Stanzel, is somewhere in here, and he has done the job of... Matt's done the job of about, I would say, 4 or 5 men. The number of shows that we've done over a 3-month period is amazing, and to keep the integrity of the fights and the competitive level at the level that he has kept it at, event in and event out, has been absolutely shocking. And it's just a real pleasure to work with him. He's a consummate pro, and he knows the game backward and forward, and we're really lucky to have him on our team. I'm going to let Carolyn come back up here and then open it up for questions.
Hi, so as Bjorn said, we're going to take a few questions, so raise your hands. Loretta.
Your champion, Joe Soto, will continue to fight in one-offs while the tournament happens the next season, correct?
Our next season will start up in mid-September, and mid to late September. In the interim, there may be a special feature fight with Joe Soto, as I think you and I have talked about. There could conceivably be a feature fight, but it would be a non-title feature fight. So it really depends on timing. I mean, you know, when you look at most fighters fight 3 times a year, and sometimes if it's squeezed down 4 times a year. So September is going to be here before we blink. It's a 90-day period, and then boom, we've got it. So it'll really depend on talking with Joe, talking with Joe's management, and figuring out where his head is and where he wants to be. I mean, he's our champion, so he'll dictate. And there's a chance of a feature fight. There's a chance that Joe won't fight again until we've established a challenger at 45, and that challenger is ready to challenge him for that title.
So the second tournament champion would finish ahead of time, and then you'd fit the new champion fighting, the 2 champions fighting one another into the season, correct?
Yeah, correct, except it would be Joe is our champion, and the guy who wins the 8-man tournament would be the #1 ranked contender in our organization. He would fight the same tournament structure that Joe and Yahir and Wilson and everybody has fought through, but he would be fighting for the right to challenge Joe Soto for that title.
Joe, I had the pleasure of sitting next to somebody that actually is from your hometown. He was telling me about your gym, and after the fight when you said, I'm going to buy new training equipment, that actually says a lot about you. Can you tell us a little bit about the facilities that you have been training in and what you hope to do now that you have a little bit more revenue? You're going to invest that into, well, you tell us what you're going to invest it in.
Well, I train at 2 gyms. The garage, we started in the garage, and in Porterville, California, and NorCal Fight Alliance. In Porterville, my gym in Porterville, it's my friend Paul's gym, and actually, Paul Estrada. You know, we have limited equipment there, and you know, I kind of want to help him out, but you know, I was also talking about just buying some more gloves and some more headgear and stuff like that too. But in NorCal, they really have it together up in NorCal. It's a little bit more professional there. But I definitely want to, try to get some new stuff back home too in Porterville.
You kind of created a whole buzz with the whole Bellator these past couple events. Given the 145ers, the 155ers, the welterweights in each in different organizations, would you guys be willing to do cross promotion and actually pull and maybe bring over from other MMA promotions?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard because I wear the hat of a fan first, and then I wear the hat of a CEO second. So if there's somebody who's hugely talented and they happen to fight for Strikeforce, and it makes a ton of sense, and everybody would, or a lot of fans in the endemic market would say, I'd love to see Joe fight so-and-so, or I'd love to see that, that's absolutely something we would consider. I don't think there's any reason that shouldn't happen. I mean, ultimately, it always seems to boil down to falling off the tracks because of an economics issue, and ultimately, the life expectancy of many fighters in this game is relatively short. If there's a magical matchup to be had, the fact that somebody fights at Strikeforce, or somebody fights in Japan, or somebody fights for one of the Zuffa organizations. I mean, it's I know those are stretches, but I'm not in any way opposed to it. And it would have to, at the same time, it would have to fit within the continuity of the objectivity that we've created. So you'd have to give the guys that are earning the right to fight at Joe Soto, or any one of our champions, the right to fight them. And then Joe prevails. and conceivably, or the other person prevails, and conceivably then as you're building out our light heavyweight division or our heavyweight division and there's a lapse, then you could do a special feature fight. But I mean, I'm a freak. I watch Versus. I mean, my wife goes nuts because it's like Versus, it's ESPN Deportes, it's Spike, it's HDNet Fights. So there's world-class fighters all over the place. I just hope we can bring some of those guys in for our tournaments coming up. And the cool thing is that now that we're real and now that we're substantive and now that people actually believe about this brand and believe in what we're doing, fighters that might not have been interested or given it consideration are now looking at it and going, wow, I would love to be part of that. That's magic, and that would work for me, and I could win that tournament. And so, the answer is a astounding yes.
Other questions? Lorna?
I have a question for Wilson. Wilson, do you think you would have been able to end the fight sooner if you had been able to keep a hold of your opponent? It seemed like you were really struggling to keep your hooks in, and then you switched to the body triangle in the second, and then went back to the hooks. Was that your big problem in the fight, do you think?
Not really. I was trying to get his neck and a rear naked choke, and then I thought I had it, but it didn't. I was tight, and then across my feet I thought I had it, but he, the real tough opponent, he didn't want to tap. And this was hard. I think it was most hard. It was just like he's high. He didn't stop. I didn't stop him either. So it was a lot harder in the fight. And we switched position back and forth, and the guy deserved to win. So I definitely want to get better, and I respect it and come back, get back, better, and put a show, but definitely I was the whole time I was trying, to get the submission, I couldn't get it, and then on the last round I got a good shot on strike, so I just keep working my strike and get my submissions, better, for when I get in kind of situation, when I be able to finish, It's frustrating when I get a guy on a real naked choke, on a guillotine, or whatever, and you're not finished. It's it sucks, but I'm gonna definitely want to get better, work and drill more the position, so next fight I'll be able to finish.
You believe you earned the decision, yes?
What's that?
You believe you earned the decision?
Yes, I definitely believe that. I knew it was a real tough fight, so but I think I did a little more, and then I'm very happy, I'm very happy for the decision. I think I deserve it, and it was like more motivation for me to get back in on top. Thank you.
Chris?
Wilson, can you give us a little background on your jiu-jitsu experience? We saw a lot of half guard sweeps, maybe an X guard sweep in there. Can you give us a little background on just your lineage and everything?
Yeah, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since I was 11 years old. I'm 24 now, so it's my background. I just love, to play special half guard game, so I just been working out to adapt, from jiu-jitsu to MMA, today my opponent was able to control me a little more on my back, I usually sweep fast, and the guy controlled me on my back, I was able to, transfer to another position, but, it's good, to keep my head open to create more position for that kind of situation, so it was good, I just love to play my jiu-jitsu, in MMA fight, so, it's like I'm growing up, and so I just, I'm going to get my jiu-jitsu positions better and tight, for the next fight,
Were you in any trouble with those? I believe you kind of triangled your head maybe twice.
Not really. He definitely had the first guillotine was super tight, and then but I don't feel tap any time, so I knew I gonna get out, so just keep going, but he definitely had that real tight.